20 sides to every story. My name is Casey. Tonight we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we are working our way through Vecna's Eve of Ruin. We happen to be in the midst of a bit of trouble, and I just realized our title is wrong. 1 second here, let's get this corrected. Vecna Eve. Eve of Ruin. Done. Close enough. We'll figure it out from there.
Ruin even.
Yeah. But good news for the party. The party does have one player reroll left from last week when a generous, I believe it was Roadkiller, picked one up towards the end of the session. They'll carry that forward. Bad news is we will be down a Montgomery Beta. Montgomery Beta was one of the victims of a charm effect that went off last week. Fortune is the other one. I'm going to say Beta will be bearing the brunt of that charm effect and probably off on an errand to fetch something for the source of that charm when that comes into play. So Beta will be escaping out into the basement and will reappear safely, assuming the party gets through all the shenanigans that they're about to face. As far as those shenanigans go, the Durst family home has been a welcoming retreat in Barovia. In it, they have encountered ghosts and specters and shambling mounds and demons and other undead and helmed horrors and all sorts of stuff. And now, after having made their way past priests of Azibus and several nightmare realms, they stand scattered on the first floor. Duren and Fortune in the dining room, sticky with crumbs at the corners of their mouth after having done a successful performance on a harpsichord. Beta, Telovere, Las-Dal, and Telatar are in the hunt's room with stuffed wolves, stag heads on the wall, and a fireplace behind. Beta is standing next to a trapdoor that leads down into the basement. Also in that hunting room, a little less obvious, is the shadow that was once Sarasandra, having melted in her corpse form down to the floor, unfortunate victim of the shadows earlier on. Loktar is at the top of a red marble spiral staircase, having peeked down, and standing in the central room is a middle-aged man, flanked by two young women. He has a widow's peak, pale skin, pointed ears, and even pointier fangs. He addresses those who now approach. "So, intruders to my realm, we finally meet. From the way the villagers spoke about you, I had expected you to be more impressive. Ah, well, I am forever disappointed with the insects that think themselves worthy of meeting me. I suppose I could entertain myself with destroying you."
We tire of your games, vampire.
Please don't look
Please
at him.
allow me to. I'm gonna look at Loktar. You might want to not say anything at this moment. Just let me take the lead.
Fortune
Hey,
will
Fortune.
try to stealth around
Yeah.
the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to see if we can hear what's at the door? It sounds like there's people talking over there.
It feels like a Strahd announcing something in a house. We hear Strahd, I assume.
Oh yeah,
Like, doesn't matter where in the house you are.
he's
So
got
Fortune
a
is going
voice.
Yeah. Can I make a stealth check to kind of hide around the corner?
Sure.
Oh, that door's open.
That door
Shit.
is open.
I'm gonna try stealth too.
Okay.
Oh no.
I got a 14.
You're trying
Excellent.
to stealth, and Fortune is trying to put all the noise in the room onto you. Like, I'm not here, it's just him. throwing like glass and stuff, so you're breaking it as you try to hide.
Okay, you know what? A 14 with full plate mail is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And a +1.
And a +1.
That is pretty good.
So
And
you've
I don't
made
have disadvantage because it's mithril.
so Loktar is, I think, just sort of bellowing challenges from the top of the stairs, while Las-Dal and Telovere are like shush 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 shush.
Are you like? Isn't Loktar like bleeding out right now? Like you're the last one who should be pissing
Yeah,
off a
Close to it, yeah.
vampire.
We have not come here to challenge your domain. We came here in search of an item only.
What
Any
is this item?
a little piece of metal that we need to remove a peskier wannabe undead who thinks he's a god.
Sound familiar?
I've met many who have claimed to be gods over the years.
We mean no disrespect to you or any of your kin.
Well,
I actually met one of them earlier and she seemed fairly nice.
that gets his attention pretty quick. He sort of turns and looks at you, and you can feel the pressure of his eyes on you. Can I get a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, I forgot
This
that
is
I
just
did let
from
that
a
one
look.
vampire spawn go too. So
Yeah, take 2 steps
Oh yeah.
up. Take 2 steps closer to me.
Is that a 9?
That's 9.
That is a 9. You join the Charm Club.
Wait, nope, never mind. Since I'm damn fear that doesn't work anymore.
Okay. You consider Strahd a friend, someone to be listened to, heeded, and to protect, to give the most possible optimistic view to his terms.
Is that the same for Fortune and Beta then? Is
That is the same for
effect?
Fortune and Beta at this point. Fortune, you haven't really felt it kick in because you haven't really looked upon the object of your charm, but once you come around that corner, you'll feel it. Beta, in the meanwhile, just to clear the board a bit, Strahd looks past you, Lost-Doll, for a moment as you sort of, get that enamored expression, and he gestures to Beta. I have need of the Dursts. Go and fetch what remains of them. Beta will head downstairs to go and fetch the Dursts. Now, tell me, how is it that you have met one of my family?
He appeared while we were walking through the house. She
You have been deceived, or you are attempting to deceive me.
I would
One proves
never
you unworthy, one will prove fatal.
Didn't we tell her to
I
talk to him?
did she not bring you a harmonica?
A harmonica was left at my castle, but
Yes,
Barbara.
this claim that you are making, that it was a gift from my family,
it was a gift from me.
you are not my family.
what he means to say, my lord, is I believe he has been deceived, and what he assumed was a gesture of goodwill towards you, the lord of these lands, was maliciously misinterpreted.
Aha. The attention shifts to you, Telovere. You feel that gaze bearing down on you.
All right, wisdom saving
Wisdom
throw.
saving throw, please.
That's a
As a question,
17.
I do have a question, Casey.
Mhm.
At any point, would Las-Dal have the ability to play his Yarting and use it as the counter charm, or would he be under the effects of Strahd too much to be able to do that?
You would more so want to enhance his
Okay, so then I
set.
would
So
not be
yeah, I mean
playing.
that would be contesting your friend's will.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
you want to play wingman, but Telovere, 17 is enough. You resist. You can feel the weight of his presence, but you've dealt with such things before. So
We mean no disrespect, my lord. We simply came to try and destroy a usurper to all the realms. We mean only to preserve the natural balance of the multiverse.
you are a member of the Inquisition, then?
The what?
The Inquisition.
I
You
I
reference back. Sarah Sandra mentioned being a member of the Olmust Inquisition.
oh, them? No, we're not. We're not even of this necessarily realm. We have no ties here. We have no interest in remaining here, or at least I don't. I have no interest in any sort of business or activity that prolongs my existence within your realm. Besides maybe living.
So at this, Strahd sort of turns his attention to Loktar up towards the top of the stairs. He calls up to you.
We would
Well,
be gone already if you had not interfered.
Loktar, shut up!
you come to my land unbidden. You seek to take treasures away from it. And you do not think I would ask why?
I also laid waste to your reading room.
He sort of
Rest in peace,
chuckles
Loktar.
for a few moments.
No, what's gonna happen is we're gonna get vampire Loktar. Even worse. He's already a monster.
As
He's
his
a menace,
gaze
not a monster.
falls on you for a few moments, Loktar, could I have a wisdom saving throw from you?
This is gonna be stupid if I fall into this.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. If I'm the only one who passes this,
Let's see.
I'm not going to survive.
Advantage for being a fae, I guess.
Oh,
25.
Okay.
Loktar shakes it off. Well, if you are not here to offer a proper challenge, and if all you seek to do is flee, then you are a tad underwhelming. Leave whatever it is you came here to fetch behind and scurry forth until you are more.
And
Are we?
unfortunately, my lord, we cannot do that. The threat of which we face is not one that is inclined to provide the time to create such challenges, and is instead, more, to put it lightly, more apt to crush even the tiniest and lowest of insects, if it poses even a minute possibility of a threat. Furthermore, the threat of which we face does not just have consequences for one realm, but for all realms, for a fundamental undoing of all that is reality, if you will.
So you say this would be a threat to my realm?
Indeed, it would.
I would not dare say that if said God was to come and face your lordship, that he would not be quaking in his boots, but magic at its very core is a fickle and unreliable mistress, and to put it plainly, a bit of a bitch sometimes.
Well, that's a pretty good dodge. Well done. Uh, can I get a persuasion check from you?
Oh god. That's going to be a 26. I don't know why it's not showing up in Roll20
Dang.
though.
Ooh. I am well versed in the fickleness of magic. But I see no reason to let you go with debts unpaid and treasures taken from my realm. Offer me something. Entertain me with a bargain.
I may have something that could pique your interests, my lord. We'll pull out the rod of rulership there.
He sort of takes it and looks it over. A crutch for lesser men. But I do enjoy gathering toys. He sort of sets that down. Now, this thing that you've gathered, set it beside it, and I will choose which I prefer more. Or you may increase your offer.
Fortune
we-
does not move, who does currently have the rod.
Have we been
He's-
able to gauge like how much magic is coming off of these chunks of rod?
It is an artifact class
So yeah,
magic item.
you can easily tell.
It is a magic item.
If it behooves your lordship, what would you ask of us if you were to do such a thing?
Well,
Be it a boon or a challenge or an item of equivalent value. Just so I may hear your wisdom and better know how to provide that.
I'd come here hoping for a challenge, hoping for something to alleviate my boredom. And what I find instead are you lot scurrying around, thinking yourselves important, preparing for what you are sure is the end of your worlds.
If it is a challenge you seek, perhaps when we summon our quarry, we could summon him to you, so that the two of you might give each other a challenge.
An entertaining thought. Shall we bargain in
And-
souls then?
Perhaps, my lord, I may also offer this. I know not of the exact level of which you stand, for I have not seen your might in action. But below this very house, there is the makings of a ritual that summon a demonic warrior that comes in a rather very inopportune form. And it may provide at least a modicum of interest and challenge to you.
Demons are no challenge to me. I can summon them as I wish, bind
And
them
I
as I
apologize, my
wish.
lord.
But you consider yourselves important enough that you wish to leave. If you should like, I could keep your souls here until you come to retrieve them, bringing with you a challenger worthy of my attention.
Duren, while this is kind of going on, Fortune's making like just little motions, such trying to imply like, should we just go? Should we just give him the challenge he wants right now?
Well, okay, so I have some other thoughts.
Do you stop Fortune from trying to kick off a fight?
I say 1
You
minute.
say? Oh, you show. Okay. Okay.
And I'm gonna say that over the years we kind of have our own hand language.
I think we actually did discuss that at some
We
point when
did.
talking
We
about
did.
like the warlord before.
And so what I want to try to tell you is like, you know, no. So what I'm thinking is, you know, I know we're trying not to tell him that Vecna's the thing that we're trying to stop, but Vecna's relationship with vampires is not the greatest. He has,
So you go like,
yeah. That was eye in hand, yeah. uh, so there's a chance that if we bring that up, he might be like, I don't want to be part of that. Because I have a feeling that it was what? Cass? That's his name?
Yep, cast the bloody-handed.
Possibly a much more powerful vampire than even Strahd. No? Okay. I don't know Strahd.
No.
Certainly a powerful
Okay,
vampire, but much more powerful than Strahd. That's not quite true. But
okay.
feel free to bring it up. You might learn stuff.
That makes me want to bring it up.
I, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
then I'm being hand motioned to go out there and say something.
before you head out,
Ye-
my
How you
lord,
gonna tell
would
me?
you not
Yeah.
want one of your most powerful, or one of your powerful items to assist in destroying a undead being who believes he's a god? I don't think you'd want Vecna getting in the way of your greatness.
He said the V word.
He did say the B word.
I did. I was
I'm-
thinking about that. That you guys are doing the shit there. You doing it there, so
I am not concerned with such things. If they wish to bring challenge to my valley, I welcome the entertainment. As for having something of my power dealing with the undead, I've slain such and bent others to my will. Liches and demi-liches have acted as my tutors, instructors, and servants over the years. I have had them as guests and turned them aside as enemies.
So I'm gonna, excuse me, ma'am.
She's sort of like takes a step
But
back.
what about a god? Because that's where he's going. That's his next goal.
Am I not as a god already? I am ancient. I am the land. I control this valley.
Your greatness is not doubted. But we
Someone might
face-
give you a run for your money for being the most powerful undead.
and I would act as a humble servant of yours to assist in destroying a fool trying to become a god.
In what way are you my servant?
I could become your servant.
You can all become my servants. Kneel, and half of you kneel. Rise. This is not something that you can offer. I can already take it.
I'll shoot a look over to Telovere because I think he's the only one in the room who doesn't kneel, right? Beside himself.
I didn't kneel. I don't kneel.
Duren
No?
doesn't kneel at
All
the
right.
moment.
Yeah, good.
Do I kneel?
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause
Fortune kneels around the corner.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask because I haven't looked at upon him
You have
yet,
not. So
do
Fortune
I-
doesn't kneel.
Is it
Oh, do I
okay to
need
kind
to-
of say that there is a sense of knowing if he looks at like that kind of like my heart longs for Strahd a little bit, and I know if I look at him,
you're gonna lose it. Yeah.
okay.
Do I need to make a wisdom saving throw yet?
Not yet.
Is there anybody else in this room that it has not failed yet?
I think Loktar's fine at the moment, and Selavir's fine at the moment.
Okay. I just wanted y'all got +4 when it happens.
Now,
Well, Loktar doesn't, but
you've set some magic before me. You've offered a commitment of service. Is there anything else you wish before I judge you?
yeah, I got a question. Do you really just want to fight? Because we're not really up for that right now. But it sounds like that's what you want.
It is what I wished for, what I hoped for, but you are disappointing.
Sorry.
Anybody else adding anything to the deal?
Can't do what I was gonna do. I was gonna try to mess with his head, but I can't since I'm a friend.
You're a friend. And so,
I don't have anything to offer except my weapon
I have
and my belt, and I don't want to lose either one.
I have my
And plus, I wouldn't offer anyway.
I have one thing that's been a narrative thing, so I'm not sure if it would actually count.
okay.
Just because I haven't used it since.
Also, you can see Fortune. I think Telovere. I think out of everyone, you're probably the only person with the line of sight that you can see where Fortune is exactly. And for I think a moment, I'm gonna make eye contact with you if you want me to like come out and offer something, or if you have any signal you want to kind of give me with your eyes. Because Fortune isn't really sure what to do. That isn't just throw a knife at one of the spawns and kick things off.
I feel like Telovere is both intelligent and wise enough to understand your signal and really just ignore you for the best part because he's a little bit too worried about the vampire that's been trying to enslave his mind the entire time.
Okay.
Which should be taken as a no, don't do shit, please.
So Fortune is going to come out from behind the corner in response to that, and just say, I'm quite good in the material realm of acquiring magic items and finding things. If you would also like to add to the deal, perhaps once a decade, I bring you some new magical good from realms that are otherwise inaccessible. Something of very like high quality interest, not just a knickknack or something worth a decade of waiting. Otherwise, you gain yourselves an otherworldly assassin or thief if you need. And Fortune will kind of walk out and become his little bit of enamored, which kind of plays into him offering his services anyways here.
Sounds good. So what I'm hearing is a rod of rulership on the table. We have service, and then a magic item every 10 years as the bargaining chips. Are those the total bargaining chips that we want to leave on the table?
Or a good fight if he really wants that.
But we need a rest before we can give him a good fight. We've already dealt with a bunch of people from here, so we would not be the challenge he would wish for.
Yeah, and even though I slept in a coffin for an hour, I didn't get a short rest.
And we did meet
we got
Siegfried,
like
I
an
believe
oppo
it
rest.
was.
Oh, you did? I didn't. I was sleeping.
I forgot to write down the name of the Stradvin, the member of his family that we saw in the graveyard.
Yeah, Sergey, I think.
Sergey.
Sergey, not Siegfried.
Sorry, did you say that name?
No, because I don't think Lothar was talking out like that
Okay.
to him either, so probably not.
Got it.
Have you looked at
I was thinking
at
about it mentioning
Strahd
earlier
yet?
when he was talking about his family members.
Now I have. I wasn't going to come out and make an offer and just not look at Strahd. It felt like that would be a very insincere gesture.
Got it. So what I need is from the party. The DC is currently a 17.
Oh,
I need
no.
a successful intimidation, deception, and persuasion.
All three?
I need one of each. There are 5
Oh,
people.
wow.
Okay.
Please
I get
give me-
I get a plus 14 on persuasion. So do we all make all of them?
No,
Holy-
I just need a successful one of each.
Okay.
I got a
Deception,
15 on
persuasion.
deception.
Intimidation.
So intimidation's the one we need.
So and,
I'll
and
do
you,
it.
there are 5 of you who can take the actions.
Oh, I have disadvantage on it though, because of the stinking exhaustion, right? That would count as an ability check, huh?
That would be an ability check.
Okay, I'm gonna do persuasion.
Okay.
Oh, baby!
33. Persuasion's taken care of.
Hang on.
Deception's taken care of.
So yep, there's my at disadvantage.
At
What is-
disadvantage.
Oh damn! And
So we got
I
3
have a
people
plus
left
0
and an
to
intimidation.
I have a
The
0
only
to
one that-
intimidation. You've never seen me intimidate anyone.
I have a plus 10 to intimidation.
Oh, nice. Looked like I got a 6, but disadvantage.
Yeah.
But
do you
he's the
have
only
a good
one
deception?
narratively who has been on the intimidating tip.
Yeah, I don't think being intimidating would work since I'm.
I can't do another one.
You can't do another one.
We
Okay,
could we
well-
trade Las-Dals for like? Could we let? Because I believe Telovere has a good deception, but Las-Dal's the only person with intimidation.
Does anybody have
my,
guidance?
my intimidation, my deception, and my persuasion are all plus 7. So
Oh, that's still way. I have a 0 to deception and intimidation. Only
all
a
right,
plus 5.
I guess I'll roll intimidation. I'm sorry, y'all.
Television
Are you disadvantaged
intimidation.
too?
No,
17's
You are,
the
right?
number to
No.
hit.
Oh, you slept.
No,
You slept.
yeah, he
Nice.
slept in the coffin.
Can I
I
help?
know.
think it's
Surprise,
That's
surprise.
You could help. You could help.
Help.
All
I
right.
would love some
With
help.
advantage.
Yay.
Can I
Snarl-
give him the
snarl-
help? Can I give him the help then here?
Snarling down
instead?
the stairs.
All right, here we go. I'm good.
Yeah,
We're
20.
not gonna.
19.
19.
Good.
Strahd takes a moment to consider it. He takes the rod and he hands it off to one of the spawn. He looks at those who have committed service. You can feel magic flowing. A geas is placed upon you. You'll be bound to your commitments.
I'd just like to point out I did not commit to anything. Same.
Those two up there. With that, Strahd turns and moves off down into the basement to deal with.
One thing, my lord, before you go,
Shut up.
what when I die, can I still perform this deed for you?
You're planning on dying.
No, I see an opportunity to not die while still bringing you gifts every decade, which I find would be a fun.
I am uncertain what you mean.
We'll find out if I die one day. Hopefully not.
Fortune, dear. I'll help you with that. Let's not bother lordship here any more than we need to.
Telovere is wonderful with the undead, so if I were to die, he could probably bring me back, and then I could continue bringing you gifts every decade under his watch. So actually,
Tel-
I think I've got it figured all out.
Telovere immediately starts sweating at the really great with undead comment.
Yeah, and sort of as that is happening, Beta is sort of returning at this point with basically piles of ash. Brings those up. Strahd looks down. He says, "I could use someone who is good with undead." He waves his hand, and it's just casual, and two ghasts spring up from the ash. Animate dead as an action. He sends the newly undead Dursts back down into the basement. He looks at Beta for a moment. Looks over at the others and then back at Beta once more. A new citizen of the valley.
Does he have anything to say about Telatar? He's kind of just standing there in the corner.
So Telatar has gotten the mental command to make himself as small and unthreatening as possible, and just kind of scoot his way out towards Telovere as fast as he possibly can.
You tell him, "Hi, play dead," and he just bursts into a pile of bones.
Like one of the Legos, like disassembling.
Yeah.
Is he able to leave here?
This one? And he gestures to Beta?
Yeah.
No. He was
Even with
created
your
as a
permission,
citizen
correct?
of the valley. He does not have what it would take to leave.
Well, he was kind of a Debbie Downer anyway, so.
Oh, dear gods.
You feel like a stab of a psychic dagger, just like lightly into you, Duren.
Light spine adjustment.
Very rude.
He was. All he did was complain about how he'd be mad at
He was
Montgomery.
literally created to just be sent here, and now he's stuck.
He is stuck here. Because he does not have a proper soul.
Must suck to be him.
Strahd entertains himself, moving about the house. You can see magics being cast. The halls, the floors, the walls, the doors twist and bend to his whim. But you are left to depart as you should choose.
Sorry, I actually had, if I had a moment to ask one more question of Lord Strahd.
Sure.
Fortune, you needn't sweeten the deal. He already accepted our terms.
Lord Strahd, are you familiar with Kaz the Bloody-Handed?
He sort of pauses and looks back. I am familiar. He has a land not far from here, but he has gone missing of late. What news have you of Cass?
None other than that he is intimately tied with uh Vecna, the now god lich. I know he caused some problems in the world of Sigil, or in the city of Sigil. So I had hoped to seek out as himself as to perhaps learn more or even use against uh Vecna. So I was just wondering if you had been acquainted and whether or not you could communicate with him. But as you said, my lord, that he is unfortunately disappeared suddenly, which is odd, I assume.
It is
Probably,
quite unusual. Those
probably
who,
not a coincidence.
yes, those who are given command over domain, such as Cass and myself, are not often able to leave. For the first thing you will bring me, you have 10 years, whatever device or item it is that allowed Cass to leave his lands and roam. I wish it.
It will be done.
I wish his sword.
I wish for us to be leaving the house and going home. So let's do the easiest one here on the list, which is mine, and let's go.
It's
If you're
not
taking
often you get a moment to speak with one of the greatest arbiters of undeath in the
if you're
multiverse.
taking requests, I really want a
Yes.
crystal longsword.
And I am sure, Fortune, you will have many more chances to talk to Lord Strahd when you come to deliver his requested items. Now, in the interest of not wasting any more of his time, because I'm sure his time is precious and he does not need to waste it talking to worms like us, can we be moving on so that we may get to the task that he has assigned us?
Actually, you've made a great point as well. Lord Strahd, would you like, I don't know if you prefer any kind of teas or scents or anything that you cannot get here, but like a nice little ritual to bring along with any gifts that you and I might enjoy a meal of some kind each time I visit, or something that you cannot get here that you would like just as a kind of mundane addition to the ritual of bringing you a gift every 10 years.
What's the status for grapple, by the way? Is it a contested strength check?
It is a contested strength check. I would
Okay.
say, good.
Teletar is going to attempt to pick up Fortune and walk out of the house with him.
Yeah. As you are being picked up and carried out of the house, Strahd will give it a few moments of consideration. He will take from about his neck a locket, give it to one of the um, spawn, who will then come chasing after it and hand you it, Fortune. Inside, there is a image of a woman, maybe young 20s, auburn hair, nice features, and she'll say he prefers this.
Was there a word after this, or was that the end of it?
This. Yep.
The Okay.
He prefers this.
You prefer a brunette. Okay. As you wish it. I will bring you a brunette each time to enjoy. For- As you all know, Fortune is always keen to help out his friends, and as he currently thinks Strahd is a friend, he is unfortunately promising more than he intended to in this moment.
Magic item. Kaz's escape tool. A woman
And a
who looks
brunette.
like a woman who happens to look like Tatiana. Sounds good. Uh,
Got a question for you, DM.
sure.
Does Montgomery have his piece of the rod on Beta or on himself?
I do not recall, but whichever way round it is, we'll make sure that that leaves with you. What we're
I was gonna
going to
say I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go pick it off of him if that's the case.
What we're going to do a little bit there, just to allow us to continue on, we will backfill the conversation that would happen between the party and Beta, as Beta realizes that he cannot leave Barovia. Being created here without a soul, he cannot depart. Well, he could. He would just die. So we'll see what comes of that dealing with hags. And so, congratulations. You have cleared the Durst family home. You have talked your way out of a confrontation with Strahd von Zarovich. You've lost Sarasandra, and from time to time, each of you will feel a cold touch as you're trying to sleep, and a little bit of essence being drawn away as the shadow haunts you. But for the moment, you're able to return back to the Wizard's 3. You're able to feel the pull of the rod, dragging you towards another land, a place called Kryn.
That
That's
Dragonland?
Dragon. Yeah, I think that's Dragonlance.
That's Dragonlance.
I'm very excited for that. I mean, what?
As you're being pulled away, I believe I get to give you good news. You get the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, thank God.
You get the benefits of a level,
Oh, thank God.
and as you are preparing to head to Kryn, what all might you be doing? So let's figure that you're probably going to have a month or so of downtime. What would you be doing in that month? You do have access to travel between the planes back to your version of the prime material.
I think Fortune is going to realize that he essentially promised to bring a person with him each time after
Yeah.
becoming a little bit. Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest problem for Fortune as he has to reconcile with that. So probably not something he deals with in the month, but something that he starts thinking about immediately after the encounter with Strahd.
Yeah, that was a pretty big commitment that you've made. I know you've got 10 years. Um,
How
so
long do cats last? Or, I mean,
Tabaxis have kind of normal
Tabaxi, yeah.
human lifespans, I believe, about
oh yeah.
80 to over 100-ish. So not forever. That's why he's asking about Telovere, like about whether or not he's going to be able to keep doing that and will have to keep doing that when he eventually dies.
If you ask Telovere about it, he's like, oh, yeah, no, you have to. I will 100% just resurrect you to make sure you keep up your end of the bargain, because I don't want him coming after me. You
solid.
die somewhere, I will come find you, and I will just resurrect you.
Or you actually, Telovere, would you give me an insight check against my +0 deception?
Sure. Let me,
Well, I rolled a
let me-
3, so don't do
let
worse
me-
than that
yeah,
3.
we'll soap about that one, boss. That's a 21.
Fortune is elated that you will
Okay.
come find him and resurrect him, should he die. That
No,
you will bring him back. But, and you see you basically just see his tail wagging when you say that.
Don't
That's
read
how
into that,
obvious
Fortune.
it is.
Don't read into this.
Sure, whatever you say.
Anyway, I also made you a little short list of places that you'll be able to go find the other half of what you promised, Strahd. I recommend not spending a lot of time there. Tabaxi are rather valuable in certain markets. But there's some good places. City of Brass is a lovely place. I hear you can get a lot of things from across the realms there.
If you're
Fair-
looking
fair enough prices.
for brunettes, I've heard there's a fest hall in Baldur's Gate that has all kinds of goings on.
I was thinking about it in more of a maybe I can bring some betas of these people. They still have blood, right?
Fortune,
That's not how that works, but okay.
where are you from? You're from Waterdeep, aren't you?
Yeah.
She looks familiar.
Oh.
well.
The picture that you have, that now that you get a chance to really look at it, you've seen a woman who this could be a picture of her. She you would have seen her maybe when you were visiting a hospital, but she seems to have a terrible mental affliction, and be almost terrified at all times. Maybe some of the kids or the younger ones would have, told stories of this fearful mad woman in Waterdeep.
But I don't know her name.
But you don't know her. Give me a history check. Maybe you do know her name.
I do it with an advantage just as someone who is from Waterdeep and visits his sister there every now and then.
Sure.
Thank you. That +1 probably need. That advantage came in really handy with that nat 20.
Ooh. Anna. Anna. She is residing in an asylum there.
Okay. Fortune's mind is going to a very convoluted idea of bringing beta gifts from the real world to kind of make his life better, bringing simulacrums of this Anna for Lord Strahd, and bringing a magical item to kind of just try to make everyone's lives there a little bit better. As misguided as it may or may not be.
Do you tell Telovere that you know this person?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
I don't think he realizes it till like the next time he's in Waterdeep. He probably sees her or something, and things kind of click from there. I don't think he would know it right away.
Okay.
Sounds
But
good.
he would during this month go visit his sister, and that's probably when this kind of epiphany would come upon him.
Sounds good. So Fortune visiting Waterdeep, doing a bit of prep work for the next 10-year delivery. Las-Dal, Duren, Loktar, Telovere, what are you up to for your month or so?
I want to try to get my crystal longsword.
Trying to get your crystal longsword. Just as a note, as you say that,
Well, I looted stuff from there too.
you mentioned a crystal longsword to Strahd. You heard him say something along the lines of, crystal blades are the weapons of traitors and fools.
Oh yeah, yeah. He wouldn't like that. Yeah.
Sergei's blade was a crystal sword.
Oh,
But Durin, go ahead and give me a quick persuasion check.
Oh.
I think that's still too low, isn't it?
It is. It's very rare. The thing is that I probably don't have the money. It's rare.
Okay.
I needed the money.
You continue your fruitless search for a crystal longsword.
Here's the thing: is that I found one last time, but I didn't have enough money to buy it.
Moving about.
We're going to Dragonlance. Maybe I can find one. It's from dragons.
Can certainly check it out there. Of the wizards, the one who is most readily available during this time, Tasha's off doing some research. So Mordenkainen is acting as the go-between, activating the portals as necessary. No, so unfortunately, weapons of that sort were not really my specialty. You may have heard of my mansion, tower, more
Yeah,
larger
Lovely, lovely.
constructs.
yeah, you got any other cool weapons there?
I mean, they're not really weapons so much as places.
I whispered to Duren one time after hearing that, and I'm like, he's a magical real estate agent.
Has been known to dabble. Uh,
Do you have any
During
places in the Fey realm? I've been trying to get back for a little bit.
have journeyed to the Fey Rail from time to time. That's normally not a particularly difficult task. Is there a
Could
particular
you give us a
place?
realm that would put Strahd to shame?
A realm that would put Strahd to shame.
Yes, and put it right next to him so he can see its grandeur.
Oh, in well, that's an odd comparison.
I
I've
want
never
an
thought of
even bigger
Barovia's
valley
particularly
and an even bigger
Uphill.
land bridge.
Up the
grandiose.
hill so that our sewage may flow down into his realm.
Yes, I thought you were referring to something like a Avernus or one of the Hells when you said something comparable. But if you wish for something
Do not like Strahd.
grand, say it again.
I dislike Strahd.
I so I've heard.
I never would have guessed.
But on that note, Loktar, what are you doing with your month aside from grumping about Strahd?
I think you might do some research into vampire slang. Try to learn some new techniques toward
Into
that
vampire
end.
slang. Go ahead and let's just do a quick Arcana and history.
Right up. I was in the character builder. Now I'm back.
Sure.
Arcana and history.
Arcana and
Here's the
history.
Arcana.
It-
Ugh. And here's the
oh,
history. Yucko. And the history is even worse.
I don't know
Study angry,
what's
study wrong, I guess.
I don't know what's going on here. Maybe Mordenkainen's saying words that you just don't understand. Like he's like, you just need to stick them in the, whatever the word fancy word for breastbone is, and you're like, yes, yes, the big toe. It's just
The big toe.
yeah, like whatever you thought you knew about vampires, you're basically unlearning it actively at this point. So like running water, that's a myth. They love fire, sunlight. Who would use where do you get sunlight from? Yeah, just whenever you go up against your next vampire, there will be misconceptions. Las-Dal. What are we doing up there? Or Telovere?
I'll be making I'm gonna be making a trip to the Shadowfell.
Okay.
If Telovere needs to make a trip as well.
Telovere gets dragged along on another trip to the Shadowfell.
I don't know if
Aw.
you're looking for any goods or not.
Telovere, ironically, is looking for some goods. I was going to do it on my turn, so.
All right, so a
Uh,
Shadowfell trip is made. Evernight, lovely city that it is, welcomes two of its most generous residents.
I'd be looking to see if they had anything maybe instrument wise, like a bonus to the instrument wise for spellcasting.
Instrument wise spellcasting,
Like a little
instrument of the
bonus,
bards, or
like yeah, something to give it a little bonus to the casting and DC.
oh, I do not know if such a thing exists.
Oh, let me do a
I know
little
there's the
research
instrument
then.
of the bards, which helps bards do stuff, but I don't know if it actually does that. That gives you more spells. We can, if you can find something that like you're talking about, let me know. I don't know a thing that does that off the top of my head.
Alright, I'm gonna do some research quick.
Yeah, no
So
worries.
Telovere can do his
Yeah, so we'll
chopping.
bounce down. Telovere, what are you up to?
Okay. I have two main goals and one secondary goal that doesn't really matter.
Okay,
One, I ask one of the wizards to teach me greater invisibility. It's a fourth
easily
level
accomplished.
spell. Cool.
I can teach you that.
Yes, but you were busy, so I wanted and I needed that spell. That one was kind of a non-negotiable at this point.
Yep.
Um,
A little bit of cash for ink, and you're fine.
that's fine. And then the second one is also relatively easy. I want to buy approximately 2 human corpses. They can come in multiple pieces. I just need approximately 2, so I can stitch them back together if need be.
Sure. Again, easily accomplished.
Cool. After that, yeah, you know what? That's it. That's actually all I got. I just needed the corpses in that spell. So, oh, actually, no, incorrect. I do have one other thing. Using my newly acquired spell from the level up, I am going to procure all of the necessary ingredients for the spell clone. So
Ooh.
the little was it the diamond, the vessels, etc., etc.
Sounds good. 3,000 gold pieces later.
Uh,
Mm,
and I just will set that up during the month.
sounds good. So 30 of your 120 days of growing have passed.
Nice. I am now immortal.
Is it what age did you set your clone to be?
Basically the same edge I am now.
Okay. Why mess with perfection?
There's no need to worry. There's no need to mess with the perfection, you know.
Sounds good. All right. Some things have happened. We've got our stuff set up. Unfortunately, I think that means we are going to call this evening a little early because the next step's a big step, and we're going to need all hands on deck for that and a little more prep. I seriously did not expect you guys to get out of there without fighting Strahd. My apologies.
I would have done it.
Think we did either.
I literally had one fourth level spell slot left, and I was gonna just smite his ass right from out the gate.
You all did well. You found another rail to run on. As far as things go for this week, next week, I am good with the 19th. I will need off the 26th, and then I can be here on the 2nd if everybody will be okay for the 2nd. We'll check timelines as we break away, but ideally here for the 19th, we will head to Kryn from there. We'll do a little bit more leveling up and off-screen shenaniganery. We'll come back on the 26th with a quick catch up of what Montgomery Beta said before you left, and I'd like to spend a few minutes at least just hearing how you convey to Montgomery once you all arrive for that set. So we'll let him know that part's coming up. Fortune, we've got your commitment there. Las-Dal, services offered, but left a little bit on the vague side. And thanks everybody for hanging out.
Can I
Any?
take a
Yeah.
moment here,
Oh,
if you're still
absolutely.
okay? There's another thing Fortune had begun thinking about doing here, and since we're kind of ending early, I thought I'd bring it up here, which is Fortune is planning on building essentially a stronghold, but what the stronghold will be is the cheaper, like a guild hall. Essentially, Fortune over the course of this time has gone from someone who lived only in the city as someone with very little means to an expansive knowledge of like seeing the world of the multiverse. He wants to establish a guild hall for essentially explorers of the multiverse, which he intends to use towards his goal of bringing a new, very powerful or artifact-ish magic item to Strahd in every 10 years. So I think with all of this and this new kind of burden he's placed on himself, he wants to essentially found a guild of multiplanar explorers, and it's not something that I think would finish, in the month,
Hmm.
but that's something he wants to start now. And he would definitely go to his companions as well to get their thoughts or recommendations on people to join or to recruit, that sort of thing. So if anyone has anything else they would tell Fortune to do as he tries to set this up, or recommendations that he could pursue in between other downtimes and stuff, I'd love to hear it.
So let me ask for a quick clarification. Where are you thinking of putting this guild hall?
That is a very good question that I have
So,
not had the time to think.
uh,
Hmm.
Sigil
Yeah, well,
has
what would pick do it in Sigil? Because that's the most obvious
it.
choice.
It does have the planes and the portals, but the organizations are somewhat finicky,
Hmm.
and there are many strange and wonderful people there. So certainly a place you could pursue. And you do seem to have the Lady of Pain's favor at the moment. She's letting you come and go with remarkable little interference.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to throw. I just wanted
We would need to be subverse.
to. That's a sort of
Subversive about our
certainly a
inclusion
word.
of the Bugbear Trinity,
I,
where the Lady of
this
Pain would not
this
approve.
might be too insane, but the idea of establishing a secret guild hall of explorers in the Outlands themselves
Mm-hmm.
is one of the coolest things I could possibly think of.
Sure.
So he might pursue what does he need to be able to accomplish that. Create a guild hall that probably moves a little similar to like Baba Yaga, where it's just like this place that is not in the same location at any given time. That I think sounds like something that Fortune might begin to pursue from this point as part of the establishing. So
Okay.
probably bigger than what we could talk about here and figure out, but that uh just that comment from you makes me think how amazing that would be.
Sure. So let me throw to the party because there's some concepts that would uh, occur to me as far as if I wanted a moving, walking, floating something structure. Um, there are solutions that I would come up with. What solutions would the party say, oh, hey, we could do this?
Telovere would offer just to rain a bunch of ghosts underneath the place and just have them carry it.
I mean, Fortune would definitely put that on the list of good ideas.
On the so basically a massive palanquin on the backs of countless undead marching along with a castle on top of it. It's certainly a
I
look.
mean, listen. He never said it had to be a good guild, and I
And
think
I'm in
I think
service of
undead is a
Strahd
great thing.
now.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
it's on brand.
Yeah, so
Slowly but surely, I'm getting every single person to convert to the ideals of the undead and necromancy. Fortune is just the most recent convert that we have.
there's a lot of souls that just can't rest no matter what you do. Might as well have them move your Palanquin Guild Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
And it being in the Outlands, the Bugbear Trio worship is back on the table. So
Yep. So
Loktar has their in there. Duren,
Nobody's gonna want to break in this place. They're just gonna be like, "Yeah, man,
I mean,
it was
yeah,
a
I'm
terrible
robbing the
place
next
to break.
joint."
I would join because I would want people to help find me a way back into the Fey realm.
okay. And
Oh, I do want to clarify. Telovere would not join. He would just offer to do it for a good amount of pay.
Yeah. And I think
Telovere has
Fortune
no interest
understands
in
that.
exploration. Telovere just wants to go back to his crypt and continue his studies.
Televere's a
You're
third
probably the
party
person I
consultant.
would bring stuff to. Like, do you think what do you think Strahd would think of this magic item that turns everything into a candy cane or something like that?
If you brought that item to him, Telovere would just ironically throw it out of a window.
You just hear people being turned into candy canes in the streets below.
So
No,
Uh,
I'm stripey and delicious.
Lost all Durin, anything that you two would suggest to Fortune other than this, or to go with it? Joining's fine. I don't think Fortune would deny anyone, but he's really looking for how to make this into. He wants
First,
to
we
be the
gotta
next
find
Barba Lasagna.
location. So we gotta find a rundown shack or something to start it out in.
That's a good point. It'll require Fortune to kind of do some exploration of the Outlands first to find something that would be a suitable building that exists already there or something.
sure. I would say that like oh, I feel like the way you would do it is you would just go places and just like every time you would come back it would be like like the comedy sequence of the one time you show up with like your ears smoking and like your hair burned down a little bit, and the next time you're like freezing in there, and then the next time you come back with like 3 arrows stuck in the back of your jacket, because cities of the Outland are a little bit kooky.
The reason the house has to move is because he's not welcome back to each of the areas it's gone to until he's gone to all of them, and it's kind of reset over the millennia.
Sounds good. Yeah,
I'll find some stuff and I'll talk to you later, Casey, about
sounds good. So, all right. So I have some downtime projects that are kicking in. The wizards are continuing their research and their preparations. We'll pick back up with what has gone on with Montgomery Beta as you were saying goodbye. What happens with Montgomery moving forward? They'll have time to have resolved such things as were pending, and then we'll be prepping and heading to Kryn. The rod indicates that the next piece is located in a great tree.
Oh no.
I immediately asked Redbud if he has the next piece.
Redbud's like, thanks, man. You consider me a great tree? Appreciate it.
Of course I do, and I was hoping once I get this guild hall built, if you'd like to, travel around the Outlands with us, You could have a place right in the guild hall itself, moving around with a nice window for you to look out.
Oh, that'd be excellent. Could be like
Uh,
a
Oh man.
so
walking tree.
Duren had started in Neverwinter like a guild of people researching into the Fey realm
Mhm.
and ways to get there. I would like to move that guild into the Outlands, and
Ooh.
we can start with having some members.
Do me a favor and just throw me a persuasion, because the thing that you just said there is a big ask from people who live in what is normal and could be moving to the Outlands.
I also have a question. What is the obsession with the Outlands, guys? Like, I live in a crypt, and I'm not willing to move out to the Outlands. Like, I feel like y'all are reaching a little further even than Telovere is comfortable with.
I mean,
Fortune is just thinking this idea doesn't like the Lady of Sigil. You don't want to have the Lady of Pain always being okay with things, because all it takes is for her to not be okay with it once. You can't set this sort of thing up in Sigil. There's no way that you don't run the risk of upsetting her and losing all of it. So Fortune's only thought was, well, then it's got to be the lands that surround Sigil that allow for travel across the plains.
sure. You could provide a roving fortress bus service between the Outlands. I think there is something that
It's just
does that.
Totoro.
I figure look to our trust fortune. Number one, he trusts fortune, and then secondly, this sounds more at home for him than in the middle of a city anyway. So he's like, yeah, that sounds better. So it's probably not hard to convince him.
Sounds good.
And whatever's out there, we'll kill it if it's a problem.
Whatever it is.
As like Illustrial and
honest-
Tasha get wind of this plans, is like, I guess it's good that you're thinking about a future.
Ask Celestial if I could get an introduction to her mother, who has a roving house. It's perfect. It's the best possible plan that nothing could go wrong from.
Tasha's Baba Yaga's
sorry,
daughter, but yeah.
He says all this to Celestial.
Wait, what? I didn't even catch that.
What's that?
The witch that was talking to Las-Dal and wanted to take him home.
Sorry. That's a
Oh,
that's
okay.
a lore
I was gonna say, what
crossover.
in the world? I didn't make that
Baba Yaga
connection.
is
Oh, okay.
Baba Yaga is a real world mythos's well-known witch, got translated several times into D&D. So Baba Yaga, the air quotes real one, Baba the Saga as inspired by Baba Yaga. But
Oh, gotcha,
And remember, it's not Baba La Saga, it's Barbara Lasagna.
Barbara Lasagna.
Could also be
Barbara
Barbara Lasagna.
Lasagna.
I'm
Next
sorry.
sorcerer.
Don't get it.
All right. Cool. Anybody else have any topics they want to bring up before we break? All right. Cool. Thanks to everybody. A little bit of a short session tonight, but we'll pick back up tomorrow night with the big dig in. Sorry, not tomorrow night. Next week with the big dig in as we head towards Kryn. We'll have a skip week, and then we'll pick back up from there. Cool. Thanks, everybody. We'll go ahead and hit some buttons. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Boy.